What up, Dokkonners? Welcome back to Tsunrami for another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. I am joined today with the homie Goresh, and did I say that right? I'm joined alongside the homie Goresh and the whale Nolar. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good.
Doing well.
How do you? That's gonna bother me. How do you say that? I'm joined with.
Joined by.
Joined by.
Joined by.
I knew it. No, I didn't. Okay, well, we're keeping all this. This is a single take, so you guys get to hear how much of an idiot I am. So the two homies are here to talk about the new category, the crossover category. It is official. We are looking at the image right now, and you know what? I like it. I am very happy with this category. It's been a long time since I've said anything positive about a new Dokkan category. So, first impressions, guys. What do you guys think about this? I think it's great. It really brings in together a lot of units that really wouldn't have other categories in common, and this is a great one that just bridges all the various corners of the Dragon Ball universe together.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm always more so in the ballpark of if I just want to include more units in categories. Like, if there's always like a doubt in your mind, like, oh, should this guy be in here or should they not be in here? I would always veer on the side of they should just include them. So I'm happy that some of these characters, like Super Saiyan Bardock's in here, all the Super Saiyan 3 Vegetas are in here, Chilled is in here. Like, all these characters that you probably wouldn't have even thought would have made the cut are in here. Super Saiyan 3 Broly's here. The Masked Saiyan's here. Like, all those awakenings that we just got for Toa and Mira are here. I like the category a lot. I can't really think of any mission that just comes, blaring to me right now. But well designed, I think.
Before we started, I think we were trying to generally like cluster all of these guys together. It's basically, we're still kind of working this out, but I guess basically what you could say is all of these units are units that are, or characters that are outside of the Dragon Ball, the Prime canon timeline. Would that be an accurate assessment for these units?
Yes, I guess. But you could also, because if that was your definition, then you would include all of GT.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay. So these are, okay. So then I guess that kind of breaks it. But still, it's still a good healthy way to bring in characters like Arale, even though we're never going to see them again. Chilled, you know, the fusions units. It's more than just those units that have the little special designated insignias at the bottom right of their character art now. Unless, of course, they decide to add that to each of these. What do you think, Nolar?
I mean, crossover is just collaboration, so every single collab, which would be the fusions, which I didn't think they would put in, but now it obviously makes a lot of sense. You've got the Fighters collab, of course, all the Dragon Ball Heroes stuff, but yeah, I mean, the Penguin Village stuff, so the Arales, the Superman, all that stuff, like I'm surprised they're all in here. But a pleasant surprise, because along with Goresh, I'd rather have you question, oh, that shouldn't be in here, but okay, cool, as opposed to why aren't they in here?
Precisely.
You know, which is, well, a lot of the community has been upset for the last like 6 months, like why are they leaving units out? So again, maybe they're turning a new leaf. Maybe this was Team B that took this category over, but yeah, honestly, it looks really good. I have no complaints whatsoever.
Do you think with the fact that Arale and all of these characters are now part of this, could there potentially be a chance that we'll see them come back, or is this simply to cover their bases and to really make sure that they establish a good category by including them?
I think it's more so to cover their bases, but
Yeah.
so something that I think we could see return is a lot of the fusions characters don't have awakenings. So I think like the one that comes to mind is Whirus. He doesn't have an awakening, and obviously doesn't, like Chow Man doesn't have one either. So I think if they wanted to round out this category even more, they could go back and revisit some of those fusions characters, even though fusions hasn't been around in a while, just to give those guys awakenings, right?
Is Whirus in Realm of Gods?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find
Yeah,
it.
should be.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I agree with Goresh that it doesn't necessarily mean that we're gonna get the event coming back. Although, why wouldn't we get the event back, right? Like, why not? But then again, I understand why, because they want everyone to be playing all the time and have the fear of missing out, FOMO. So, but the fact that they're in the categories just to cover their stuff, you know, just make sure that all the bases are there. I would love to see Awakenings. I'd love to see EZAs. Like, Karoli needs an EZA. You know what I mean? Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Honestly, I thought if they were going to make this a huge celebration, they would have given that adult Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks an EZA. You know what I mean?
It's possible still. You don't know yet.
It's true, but that's what I'm saying is like some of these units like awakened in like right when they released, and back then, as you could tell, 80% attack at the start of turn. Wow, guys, he's a powerhouse.
It seems like there's a pretty good chunk of these units that basically appeared once, and yeah, bringing them back in some form or fashion would be good for the category, just because, yeah, I mean, as you said, Goresh, it's a smart move to cover their bases and to be thorough for once with a category. There's really no question now who shouldn't be here or who should be here. But, you know, just if they're going to make a good category, why not really let us take some time to dive in and enjoy some of these categories, especially since we've brought in so many new players since the various celebrations that we had this year so far. We had the three, what is it, I'm blanking here. The 5 year, the 5 year, the simultaneous celebration, and then of course the Heroes one coming up. A lot of people from various aspects of gaming have come to the forefront of Dokkan to experience the game. So there's a lot more to be gained by bringing some of these things back, giving awakenings and updates to old units that just haven't had any shine, than to not do that. So
yeah, I agree. It just, I don't know what the implications are in terms of like licensing for bringing these collabs back. I don't know if there's like a rule where, you can only do like one collab every X number of months or whatever it is. So them doing this Heroes collab now, does that like mean that they can't then go ahead and do like another Fusions collab like later this year? Like, I don't know what the rules are.
From my various gacha gaming history, collabs can come back. They generally come back with other games. Dokkan's one of the very few collab games that just featured the collab once, and that's it. Besides Heroes. Heroes is once every year, and it's usually coinciding with the anniversary or like a major release, like last year was like the World Mission, right? We got a bunch of those units. So there isn't, as far as I know, compared like looking at other gacha games, there's no rule set of like, you can only do it once every 6 months or every year. That's kind of set by the company, and that's all on Akatsuki. I'm sure they want to do more collabs, obviously, because that's just more hype, more big revenue generators. But that's also got to be negotiated through Toei and whatever IP they're trying to collaborate with. So, you know, I got tagged on a post today about, hey, why don't we do My Hero Academia? I'm like, well, Dragon Ball is a really strong IP. They don't really need to collab with an IP outside of Dragon Ball. And even then, it's just a complicated mess of, I think it's Shueisha that owns My Hero Academia. They would have to talk to Toei and vice versa. And more than likely, Shueisha's got to bow to Toei's like price point of like, you want Goku in your game? Okay, I want this much money. You know what I mean? So it's a very complicated thing. As a gacha player, I enjoy collaborations because it usually brings in fresh blood and a lot of new events to play. So really fosters the community, in my opinion. But I understand that there's a bunch of paperwork that needs to be done and back-end deals and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I wish I would see them come back again, but for some reason, which we don't know, they haven't been back yet.
Well, regarding collabs, since this is a brand new category with a lot of potential in terms of team builds and various combinations, does this also mean that there's potentially going to be some newer collaborations or newer units that join the crossover category in the future? Because again, like you said, Dragon Ball is such a strong IP, there's really no need to incorporate other properties like My Hero or whatever. So if they were to do any more crossovers, if you will, it would all be basically in-house. And logistics aside, is there really are there other opportunities besides just updating the Heroes roster or potentially updating Fusions? Are there other crossovers in the Dragon Ball space that would potentially join crossover?
Yeah, I mean, the big one right now is Kakarot.
Mm-hmm.
I know Legends did a crossover with Kakarot. They introduced a Kakarot Goku unit to Legends. And Dokkan mysteriously has never done one. I don't even think Dokkan ever did a Xenoverse 2 collab, so they could go back and do that if they wanted to. At this point, it's probably a little bit too late for that, but they could do that. I imagine we'll be getting a new game next year. for
Yep.
the Dragon Ball IP in terms of console gaming, so probably they'll go ahead and explore that too. But I think right now, if you're going to ask me which game that they were going to collab with that has not already been collabed with in Dokkan, I'd probably say Kakarot.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm trying to find out that Vegito. Is that not enough of a Kakarot crossover? His little super attack animation.
Super attack. Yeah, but it's a nice nod, but not an official.
I mean,
Yeah.
what would they actually be able to do to establish a crossover with Kakarot? Because it's just Dragon Ball Z. It's just the story of Dragon Ball Z.
Well, they could just do like the super attack, like that's what Legends did. They did like the special like cut-ins for the super attack animations, stuff like that, and like the movements were like pretty much exactly the same as how Goku moves in Kakarot.
I mean, in the game, every Goku card is just Goku, right?
Yeah.
There's no like straight up Kakarot card, right?
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
name.
Yeah.
So they could legit just give us a Kakarot card and then make that the crossover unit or one of the featured units. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Legends calls it Kakarot Goku. That's the name of the unit.
Oh, cool.
Right, so-
okay.
yeah, that's one way we could do it. Again, Xenoverse 2, they never did it. Is Xenoverse 2 done with DLC? Because like the one thing I can imagine is if they're going on their final DLC package, and like they did a big push for that, that could be in collaboration with Dokkan to be like, hey, we're going to collab with Dokkan. They're going to get all these Xenoverse 2 characters, and we're celebrating our grand final big DLC push. You know what I mean? Like that's one opportunity that they could still capitalize on that. Outside of that, we haven't got anything else because 2019 was or 2020 was Kakarot, right? Release. So I think Toei dictates that Bandai makes a Dragon Ball game with some Dragon Ball game every year based on the IP. So we're bound to see something in 2021. That will probably be a potential opportunity for them to further boost the crossover category.
I just noticed Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta is here. Is he from Heroes or Xenoverse?
He's from Raging Blast 2, I think.
He's from Raging. Oh, okay. I never
Actually,
played.
no, I take that back. I think I don't remember the name. There was an arcade game in Japan, I think in the 90s, that initially introduced him. I think that was his first ever, like, the first ever iteration of Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta.
Yeah,
But I remember he was in Raging Blast 2. And that was before Heroes.
Okay, that just reminds me. I mean, we kind of talked about it before briefly. They're putting the insignias of the various crossovers that some of these units are coming from on the character art. Obviously, it's not there for a lot of the older units, but this just reminded me when you said Raging Blast, a certain unit that's kind of garbage is from Raging Blast, right? So do you think they would actually take the time to put that little insignia on the various units that come from those respective games? Or do you think this is just a fashion move for some of the newer units? Because that would be a pretty cool way to kind of pay homage to, you know, again, the history of Dragon Ball and the whole franchise in general.
I mean, if they did it, it would be a nice, like, you know, bow tie ending kind of thing. You know what I mean? But being practical, we'll probably at some point get a Hachiak that is better than this guy, and then they'll probably they'll put that insignia there as opposed to putting it on him. But if they did it on him, I don't think anyone's going to complain. They're just going to be, oh, that's a nice nod, and you know, they're you know, being diligent about, you know, crossing their T's, dotting their I's kind of thing. But it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't do it.
Yeah, and like for this guy, this is Xeno Trunks. It's funny because I've been trying to max out this guy's links for a possible World Tournament run at some point. So yeah, I've been seeing a lot of this guy. He should get that little insignia on his character art too. I think that would be good because again, this category is not really going to be evolving, right? Not a whole lot. So might as well just tidy it up with a bow and give everyone that little extra way to organize and index them all. I think that's also great for the collector, the collecting mind, you know, like those players who like to have every single unit know where they're from. I think that would be a really good move for them.
So the first appearance for Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta was in a game called Dragon Ball Z Dragon Battlers, which was an arcade game in Japan.
Wow.
But that was in 2009, and I believe 2009 was also the same year that Raging Blast released. It was literally like basically at the same time.
Dang. Fun fact about him, he was the first unit I ever pulled It was like a dream come true for me because I always wanted a Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta ever since I saw the show. I was like, when is Vegeta going to get his shine? First unit I pulled, first SSR, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta.
I assume it was the tech one?
No, the STR one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the Dokkan Fest. Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
At least he has Overner Flash, unlike
Yeah.
the tech one.
So, any final thoughts on this category? Honestly, I'm still in shock that I have nothing but good things to say about this category. It's crazy that they actually pulled a good category out of the hat after the interesting categories, ones we've had in the past. So, any final thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I think the only reason why it's so good is because there's probably less subjectivity that goes into them creating this than something like, I don't know, like desperate struggle. Like what constitutes a desperate struggle is much more difficult to think of than
Fine. Yeah.
what constitutes a crossover, right?
And that is exactly that's always been my point. Exactly. Categories should be black and white. It should be very easy to distinguish and be able to identify. Instead of having these gray areas where you can make an argument for and against something, being able to decisively distinguish who belongs in what, that's what a category should be. Which is why Super Saiyan 4, as limiting as it is, that is a good category, because that clearly defines the limits and the boundaries between what is a Super Saiyan 4 and what isn't, right?
Yeah, and that's why I always like the saga categories.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
So
For me, I
go
just
ahead.
think that there's a lot of good team comps you can make out of this. Lots of extreme units, lots of good super units, good support all around. You know, all the TOAs, if you want to gear more towards extreme.
Totally.
So, yeah, it's pretty cool. You're gonna see a lot of different varying comps, I'm sure, from the three of us when we make videos. So definitely stay tuned.
And expect to see a lot of Toa. I'm literally afraid to do a video on Twitter because of Toa. Toa is just everywhere on Twitter now.
I wonder if your video is going to get demonetized for using her.
It's possible. It's possible. The second she uses, what is that? The TUR attack animation where she's just presenting in front of the screen? Is that the TUR?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yes,
it is.
you are.
So that will be a fun experiment for a lot of content creators to discover. So our overall rating for the category is thumbs up. We approve. We like it. Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Goresh and Nolar, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you guys taking the time. And yeah, let's get out of here. Thank you so much for watching, folks. Stay tuned and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.